Hello! Today you will learn what a glacial relief is. Glaciers are huge mobile masses of natural ice formed in the process of accumulation and subsequent transformation of solid atmospheric precipitation, that is, snow. They occupy 11%, or 16.2 million kilometers squared, of the land surface. 98.5% of this area is occupied by the glaciers of Antarctica, Greenland, and the islands of the Arctic Ocean, and only 1.5% is mountain glaciers. The science that studies glaciers, glaciology, and the Latin glacius means ice, explores the conditions for their formation, modes, and boundaries of distribution. Glaciers can be characterized as quite complex. First of all, for any type of glaciers, a feeding area and an ablation or destruction area are distinguished. In the area of nutrition, the firn-snow thickness, or basin, is separately distinguished. The area of ablation in mountain glaciers is called their tongue. Complex glaciers and glaciers are also composed of certain parts. Within parts of a glacier, a more detailed structure can be considered. The feeding area, snowline, firn, bedrock, movement area, glacier tongue, glacier fissures, and moraine deposits. Let's get acquainted with the structural elements of the glacier. Firn is an ice rock with a density of 450 to 800 kilograms per cubed meter, consisting of interlocking ice grains. It is a transitional stage between snow and glacial ice. It is formed in mountainous areas located above the snow line and in polar countries where precipitation falls mainly in the form of snow and does not have time to become water in summer. A moraine is an accumulation of unsorted clastic material transported and deposited by glaciers. The snow line is the limit above which non-melting snow is stored in the mountains and turns into ice. Above the snow line, the accumulation of solid atmospheric precipitation prevails over melting and evaporation. The height of the snow line depends on the climatic features of the territory. A glacial tongue is a part of a valley glacier lying below the snow line in the ablation region. There is a decrease in the ice mass as a result of melting. Glacial tongues occupy narrow mountain valleys, troughs or troghs. Glaciers, in the course of their movement, perform certain geological work. They destroy rocks, move debris, and deposit them in places where ice melts. Thus, they form new landforms. Forms of the Earth's surface formed as a result of the activity of integumentary and mountain glaciers in conjunction with melted glacial waters are called glacial relief. Flowing down the slopes of the mountains, glaciers, with the help of frozen stones in them and due to the unevenness of the bottom, do a lot of destruction work. They lead to glacial erosion, the consequence of which is the formation of a specific landscape, dome-shaped hills and ram's foreheads or ovoid hills. Such landforms are characteristic of the Northern American continent, Scandinavia, and the Kola Peninsula. The trough is a trough-shaped, glacially plowed erosional valley in the mountains with smooth, steep slopes. The upper reaches of the trough are closed by a circus. The longitudinal profile is stepped. At the lower end, the trough ends with a terminal moraine. A glacial car, or circus, is a natural bowl-shaped depression in the marginal part of the mountains with steep, rocky walls and a gently concave bottom. Caras are formed under the action of small glaciers. The bottom of such a depth is littered with fragments of rocks, and the snow in it keeps even until midsummer. The pyramidal peak, sometimes called a glacial horn. Sharp, glacier-polished mountain peaks are formed by the partial confluence of neighboring cirques in the relief, and individual rocky ridges and peaks can be preserved. Outwash plains are slightly undulating, hilly plains that are located in front of the outer edge of terminal moraines. composed of layered sorted deposits of glacial meltwaters and formed as a result of the connection of flat fans of meltwater. They are common in Iceland, Alaska, western Siberia, and on the East European plain. On the territory of Ukraine, they are placed in Polisia. Fluvioglacial landscapes are formed by the accumulation of fluvioglacial sands and pebbles deposited by water flows during the melting of a glacier. It differs from the alluvial terrace by the presence of a clay film on the clastic material. In the mountains, such terraces are composed of boulder-pebble deposits, while on the plains they are predominantly sandy. Moraine is an accumulation of unsorted clastic material transported and deposited by glaciers. The composition of the moraines is very diverse, unsorted, containing pebbles and boulders with glacial scars and polishing. Moraines are the basis of various surface formations and structures: moraine ridges, terraces, lakes, amphitheaters, etc. On the territory of Ukraine, continuous areas of moraines are concentrated on the left bank of the middle Dnipro in the interfluve of the Uж-Ircha. Eskers are rampart-shaped winding ridges up to 20 or 50 meters or more high, from 100 to 200 meters to 1 to 2 kilometers wide, and up to 30 to 40 kilometers long. They are formed as a result of deposits of sand, pebbles, gravel, boulders, and flows of meltwater from glaciers. They are common in Sweden, Finland, the Baltic countries, and the Russian Federation, the Leningrad region. Kames, conical hills composed of sorted layered sands, pebbles, and gravel, and sometimes covered from above by a moraine mantle. Height, 6 to 30 meters. It arises at the inner edge of continental glaciers when they melt. Kames were formed in open glacial cracks when the glacier stood still. Drumlins are small, smoothed, oval, or elongated hills composed of glacial boulder clay, the axis of which is extended in the direction of glacier movement. Drumlins are located in groups in the areas of Pleistocene sheet glaciers and form a drumlin landscape. The long axis of the drumlins is extended in the direction of ice movement. Blunt, steeper, and higher end facing the opposite direction. The height of the drumlins is 5 to 45 meters. The width is 150 to 400 meters. The length is from several hundred meters to 2.5 kilometers. Crossbars or rigels, a transverse rocky ledge at the bottom of a glacial valley, arising at the site of an outcrop of hard rocks or when the valley is deepened due to the increased action of merged glaciers in this place.